We'd like to welcome Mr. Ray Siko to the WKMC studio today. Mr. Siko is currently the Assistant Fire Chief of the Kulpmont Fire Department. Now, Mr. Siko, you're here to talk a little towards the youth of the school district about the cadet program for junior firefighters. Can you tell us about the program?
The cadet program at the Kulpmont Fire Department ranges in ages between 14 and 18 years of age. It's for young men and women who are interested, either one, volunteering with our fire department, or volunteering and using it as a stepping stone for possibly in the future going into the fire service as a full-time profession.
Okay, now when the student turns 18, he or she can become a full active member of the department?
That's correct. At 18 years of age, they become what we refer to as an adult active member. As we mentioned, there's some rules and regulations that change. Their roles in the fire service will change as well once they become 18.
Okay, can you tell us some of the things that the students may not be able to do that the adults would be able to do?
Between ages of 14 and 18 years, we use the child labor law standard. Child labor laws are set up to protect our junior volunteer members. There are certain time frames they can respond to calls, also what they're limited to do. I believe 14 to 16 years of age are limited to training and first aid. 16 to 18 years of age is a little more advanced, where they're responding to calls. Again, training, first aid, actual responses to emergencies, and it's all exterior operations until the age of 18. Other than training, they can't enter a burning building. Once they're 18 years of age, they can then enter a burning building.
Now, the child labor laws are certainly there for good reason. In addition to the labor laws, the school studies are very important to the leaders of the department. Can you tell me about any of the restrictions that are placed on students based on their grades?
Absolutely. We support academics 100%. I know for a fact when our cadet program was strong, we had between 12 and 14 active cadets. One thing was their grades. Their grades had to be, in our eyes, they had to meet the standards. It's twofold. Number one, we want to make sure that the fire service isn't interfering with their schoolwork. Number two, if their school grades are average, we know what they're capable of as far as training. If we should advance our training with them, if we should limit our training. And basically what we do is we work around each individual. The point with the grades are, like I said, we don't want the fire service to interfere with their school. Studies come first. We have in the past met with family members of our cadets. We have also requested sometimes their report cards. Family members have come to us and said, listen, their grades are starting to hurt a little bit. We don't know if it's the fire service. We don't know if they're preoccupied with other things. And a lot of times we were able to help our cadets improve their grades. Another big thing we had, our cadets were around the same age, so they had a lot of classes together. Basically, they come to the firehouse, they would study, they would do homework there. Their parents knew where they were at, and then they had the relationship outside the school, which built their relationship within the fire service with the other members.
So it's certainly good that the cadets get along with everybody, and it seems like they're really there to help each other in addition to helping their community.
Correct. One thing is, with the fire service, it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood. It doesn't matter where you're from. It don't matter what your parents do. Once you become part of the fire service, I basically refer to it as it's a second family. That's how we look out after everyone, whether they're 14, 16, 25, or 30. It's a family atmosphere. In all reality, lives can hang in a balance. You need to be there for each other. And besides the fire service part of it, responding to emergencies, knowing that someone's there to have your back, it's the friendships that are formed outside of the fire service. Many, many long life friends and friendships have been formed through the fire service.
So the fire service is definitely an accumulative thing where you're not only helping the community, but you're helping each other, and that's awesome. That's truly awesome. The students pick up, it seems like morals as well as ways of the firefighter. What are some of those things that they pick up in the program?
Number one, responsibility. No matter what age you are, there's a huge responsibility. Number two, it's not only the morals that you have in the fire department, it's the point of basically you're growing up in the fire department atmosphere where it's being respectful. You have to think of others because basically in the fire service, I've said this time and time again, and many people have said it, it's a thankless job. If you're joining a fire service to get praise and thanks, you're joining for the wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately in our volunteer fire service, thank yous or jobs well done sometimes are far and few between. And the younger youth of our area has to understand, not all the time are you going to get that thank you or, I'm glad you were here. Mm-hmm. You do a lot of growing up very quick. You have to have good self-control, and besides that, you have to be dedicated. It's definitely a commitment when you join the fire service.
And I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool that it's not only, like I've said, not only for the community, but that everybody helps each other. Mm-hmm. So you have my attention. What can interested students do to get started?
What they can do is they can contact me, and I'll provide you with an email address so you have it. And also in the very near future, I'm hopefully going to get paperwork that I can leave here at the school. If they're unable to contact me, they can possibly come to one of the offices, pick up an application, they can get it to me, and we'll take care of it that way.
Okay. So any student that is interested can stop in the office and you'll be given more information. Mr. Siko has held every officer position in the Kulpmont Fire Department, including fire chief, for 2 full 6-year terms. Thank you very much for your service, and thank you for visiting us today.
Thank you very much, Luke.